Back in 1978, I got a knock on the door. A member of the Amalgamated Clothing and Textile Union was at the door, and they said, "I think you might be interested in this magazine in these times." I subscribed immediately. This is a magazine that spoke to the political work that I was doing. In 1986, I applied for a part-time job and got it and moved to Chicago. I was hired to edit 2 pages, and that was a column I wrote of sort of short items or news items that sort of flowed from one to the other, along with 3 stories related to local events. It was called In Short, so I was the In Short editor for my first years at In These Times. We had a big office at the time on Belmont Avenue. People forget that without computers, without high-tech technology, you needed a lot more people to do things. So it was a bigger staff. Of course, I was given a typewriter that didn't have a return bar on the carriage, so I had to type a line and then return it by hand and then type another line. Eventually, I got a computer. Jimmy Weinstein, the founding editor and publisher, was thinking of retiring. He sort of did it gradually and in fits and starts. I came on as managing editor then, and then I became editor. Jimmy was involved and supportive and sort of watching at the time too. He had supported it by himself with his own personal and family fortune. So I had to learn how to make the transition from a magazine that depended on one major donor for its survival to a magazine that had a multiplicity of supporters that provided the sort of institutional strength that you get in numbers. It was really a trial by fire, and the lists of mistakes I made along the way are long and perhaps legend, but the magazine survived and we did pretty well with the sort of ups and downs. Of course, one of the big downs was the financial crisis of 2008, 2009, the Great Recession. We had a really rough time. I was forced to lay off half the staff. It was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my work experience. With the help of the Puffin Foundation, we established a fund for growth and used it to grow our circulation and our donor base. Back in 2017, our circulation reached 53,000. For me, that was a heady experience because just 8 years previously, we had a circulation of 8,000. But we also have to look at what was going on in the country at the time. And we are a political magazine, and our fortunes rise and fall with the politics of the progressive movement in this country. Trump provided this sort of horror show that would motivate some people to sort of step up, and Bernie provided the hope and the opportunity that people latched onto. We rode in a sense, the Bernie wave for all it was worth. He's been a supporter of the magazine since the 70s, so it was like one of our own, in a sense, had sort of reached the national stage and was promoting issues and ideas that we had long championed. I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that the magazine survived. For me, that the magazine is still here is an achievement. In These Times survived because its readers were behind it. What I'm also proud of is that we had an audience that stood behind us and kept the magazine going. I'm president of Barn Raising Media. Barn Raising Media is going to be publishing a national publication called The Barn Raiser, and I have a series of state publications that are affiliated with it. Our tagline is your independent source of rural and small town news. And I come from a small town background. Most of the folks involved with this project are from rural or small town backgrounds, so it's something close to my heart. I hope that In These Times and the years ahead continues to cover news that commercial press doesn't cover, to highlight the struggles, the victories, the challenges facing the various parts of the progressive movement. And I hope that In These Times continues to sort of provide the context, the information, the analysis that people need to make sense of the world they live in. I was editor and publisher of In These Times until April of this year. I began working here back in October 1986. Those 36 years have been a wonderful experience.